Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Yes, it is. You know why? Because I choose it to be so. The same way that you can choose whatever you're going through to be however you want it to be, because you have this power to give meaning to all of it. Remember, everything is fundamentally meaningless. Write that in your notes again. Everything is fundamentally meaningless. Everything just is. Nothing is good or bad. It's our thinking that makes it so, which is what we share with you here in these study calls of master your mind. See, when you master your mind, you master your life. And that's what we have done for ourselves. And this is what we're wanting you to do for yourself. Remember, your inner world is where it all starts. Bob Proctor would say this frequently. It all starts in the mind. What's in the mind is what shows up on the outside. I mean, just look around you right now. Look at all the things that are in the room you're in right now and how all of those things, all of those results, because that's what they are, how they are there because someone imagined it first. Someone imagined the idea. And then from there, they were loyal to that unseen reality. And because of that loyalty, that thing is there, whatever it is. Maybe you're looking at your device that you're streaming this from. Maybe you're looking at your ceiling, you're looking at maybe your clothes. Maybe you're looking at this book that you have, which is what we're studying. See, what they all have in common is they were imagined first. See, the true world you live in is an imaginal world. It's a thought evolved world. The results, the outcomes are the externalization of what's happened in the inner world. And again, what's beautiful about this is when you gain control of your inner world, you'll begin to see this power that you have, of which will help you to live how you would love to live. But again, guess who has to control that in your life? Who's the one that needs to control what's happening in your inner world? It's you. It's always you. It's always going to be you. So use that. All right. So I pulled this up here. Master Key System by Charles Haanel, which is a beautiful gem. Hasn't this been wonderful going through this? And with that being said, if you do have a copy of this, make sure you're underlining, you're highlighting, you're taking lots of notes. But most importantly, after you do that, use the information practically in your life. Remember, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power. The only way it becomes power is when it's used. And then also make sure that you have a beautiful set of gold cards with you. Make sure you have your idea written down. Now, my reminder for you is manifestation doesn't come from writing something down. It doesn't come from putting something up on a wall like a vision board or even saying or memorizing an affirmation. See, manifestation comes from feeling. What you manifest in your life is what you've been emotionally connected to. See, you don't manifest the gold card or what's written on the gold card. You manifest how you feel about it. And if it's just something that's an intellectual idea, I got news for you. It's not going to externalize as an outcome. But if you're emotionally connected to it, if it's like a magnificent obsession, guess what's going to happen? That change will start showing up in your outer world. Remember, seed, plant, blossom, fruit. As within, so without. Whatever you plant in your heart, as you thinketh in your heart, so are you. So are the results of your life. And that's what we've been diving into with these calls. All right, so let's go to where we are, shall we? Let's dive into this and move into it and use it. Now, we talked a little bit about this in the last session, and the page we're on is page 304. And here we're talking about the proper apparatus. As the proper apparatus has enabled the eye to discover worlds without numbered millions of miles away. So he's talking about a telescope, the proper apparatus. So will the proper understanding man has been enabled to communicate with the universal mind, the source of all power. Now, again, where are we going here when it comes to this? Well, just like a telescope sees galaxies that are very distant, understanding how thought works will give you access to higher wisdom, power, creativity. Remember, thoughts are things. Thoughts are energy. Thoughts are the magnets that attract to you the very things you think. You should write that in the first person. I write that every morning. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are energy. Thoughts are the magnets that attract to me the very things that I think. You become how you're thinking most of the time, not what, how. Now, the way that you can look at this as well is when you truly grasp, and I love that grasp, you got it, it's with you, how manifestation works, you can begin to shape your reality with precision, just like a scientist with a microscope or a scientist with a telescope. But now remember, though, knowing that is completely different than understanding it. In order for you to truly understand it, this is where application comes into play. Now, another reminder that I have for you as well is the reminder that the only way you do gain understanding is through practice, is through the experience. It's not by reading something and memorizing it. No, it's through the use of it. It's kind of like maybe strawberries. You can describe strawberries all day long to somebody who's never tasted strawberries and say, okay, I know what you're talking about, but until there's a big bite into the strawberry, they won't understand the taste. And that's important too, by the way, because it's the understanding that is the part that enables you to transfer it to somebody effectively. Have you ever seen this in colleges where maybe there's a professor or a teacher who's teaching business? They're teaching all the intellectual stuff and they get all the knowledge, but for some reason it doesn't transfer over. And if you were to ask those teachers who teach business, if they understand it, they'll say, yes, they understand it, yet they haven't delivered that as an outcome in their life, which means they don't understand it. See, they're just sharing information, sharing knowledge. If you really want to have a big, beautiful impact in your life when it comes to business, get involved with people who are already successful in business, who have demonstrated such success. And then from there, yes, pay attention to what they do, but most importantly, pay attention to how they think. Now, that right there is a beautiful gem that I really hope you grab onto. See, it's not what the successful individual does that you must emulate. It's how they think that you must emulate. I remember working with Rami Albatrawi and all these beautiful calls that we had. He wrote, "Can You Really Think and Grow Rich?" He was a beautiful man, a billionaire. And we went over, all the chapters in his book, and it was so cool to dissect it. And it was, what was really amazing is that as these sessions were gone through with his chapters, Rami would frequently, after every call, go, "Oh my gosh, you know what? You're right, Troy, you're right. It's not what I do that all you guys need to copy. It's how I think. It's what I believe. It's the habits I have. It's how I'm thinking." And that's really important for you, because from there, you'll be led to the mechanics. You'll be led to the strategy. You'll be led to exactly what you need to do. So with that, make it a point in your life to understand, number one, who you are and how your marvelous, miraculous, incredible, powerful mind works, which works according to law. Now, the understanding, which is usually developed, is about as valuable as a telephone box without wires or an exchange. Now, you got to keep in mind that, remember, this was written in the early 1900s, but with that being said, the principle is going to be really good for you to get. In fact, he says, it is usually nothing more than a belief, which means nothing at all. The Indians believe something, as so do the savages of the Cannibal Islands, but that proves nothing. Now, what does he mean by this? Why is this here? Well, what he's saying is that most beliefs are powerless without testing. That's basically what he's talking about. Belief alone is weak if it hasn't been proven in your life. Now, this is really cool because in this beautiful program that we facilitate called Thinking into Results, there's a lesson on what's called praxis. Praxis is aligning your beliefs with your behaviors. And what's beautifully shared within that module, within that lesson, is that there's two different kinds of beliefs. There's the intellectual belief, and then there's the emotional belief, which is the only belief that really matters. Why? Because that's what puts you into motion. Now, think about this. Right now, you may intellectually believe that you can do something. How many of you, like when you're thinking about your goal, intellectually, you believe you could do this, whatever it is, right? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I could do that. Yes, I believe that. But the test will be about whether or not you're seeing the movement associated to delivering this. Remember, the belief in you, the emotional belief that you have, is what determines what you do. And this is what he's pointing out here. Now, before we go further into understanding this, I need to give a message to all of you who are streaming this on the social media platforms. If you want to gain a deeper understanding of what it is that we're talking about here, then by all means, go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You'll thank yourself later.